Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to my latest bread recipe. And in this one I'll show you how to make this amazing no-knead milk loaf recipe. It's a very soft crust and light bread, ideal for sandwiches. Now this recipe is loved by all ages, but especially children. If you're having problems getting your toddler to eat bread, I can almost guarantee they'll love this one. And as I've already mentioned, this is a no-knead recipe, so it's very simple and relatively quick to make. You can view the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website. I'll leave a link in the description under the video, or you can click on the eye icon top right of the screen to take you directly to the recipe page. And I'd like to thank the Patreon and PayPal supporters for their very kind help. I'll be doing the shout out and name splash a little later in the video. And I'd also like to give a quick mention that you can now make a donation to the channel via the Super Thanks button from any of my YouTube videos. Just click on the Super Thanks button located under any of my videos and follow the simple instructions. All contributors will be given a shout out and name splash on the very next video recipe. Okay, let's get on with today's recipe. Okay guys, let's get started, and as always I'll set the yeast away. Now this is mainly to make sure it's alive and kicking. Whether you're using dried instant or active yeast or even fresh yeast, it's always best to check your yeast before you start the recipe. So to the lukewarm milk I'll add the sugar and mix that in. Next to go in is the medium-sized egg, and if you can't have eggs, just replace it with an extra 50 ml of milk, but this bread is much better with an egg. Now give that a good whisk. And I'll quickly check the temperature, and it's fine. Finally, I'll add the dried yeast. I'm using instant yeast, but you can use active, dried or even fresh yeast if you prefer. If you are using fresh yeast, you'll need 20 grams. Okay, once it's all incorporated, you can set it aside to activate. And while you're waiting, you can add the salt to the flour and mix it in. The softened butter can go in with the yeast mixture a little later. Okay, the yeast is activated and it's looking very healthy, so I'll get it into the bowl. Next to go in is your softened butter into the warm liquid. Finally, add the flour and salt to the bowl. And with my trusty wooden spoon handle, I'll bring it all together into a sticky mass. Now switch to your bowl scraper and scrape down the sides of the bowl and bring it all together. Once you're happy with it, cover the bowl, and I like to use a shower cap for this. And these shower caps are available in the website shop if you want one. We have red ones, white ones, stripy ones and patterned ones. It's just another way you can support the channel, guys. Now get your bowl into a nice warm draft-free spot, and there's no better location than your oven with just the light bulb on. Now set your timer for 1 hour. Now there's a couple of jobs to do in the meantime. You'll need to oil a small square of cling film or plastic wrap. I'm using about a teaspoon of vegetable oil. Now set that aside for now. Next thing to prep is a 2 pound or 900 gram loaf tin. Now I'm using a little lard to grease mine, but oil, butter or shortening will do the same job. And the dimensions of the tin that I'm using are on screen. Once your proofing time is up, give your worktop a dusting of flour. As you can see, my dough has about doubled in size. Perfect. And now turn out the dough onto your floured surface and give the dough a light dusting too. And now start to knock it back. That simply means get all of the built up gas out of it. Now fold the dough into a ball as shown in the video. Dip your fingers in the flour if it's starting to stick a little. This is quite a sticky dough, but perfectly manageable if you got your quantities right at the beginning. And once again, always weigh your ingredients, including your liquids. And the best weight unit to use is grams. Always remember, my gram is exactly the same as your gram. You can't say that about ounces around the world. Not preaching, guys, just saying. Just give yourself the best chance of getting it right. Once you've formed your dough ball, clean up the excess flour and now get it covered with the oil cling film. Now set your timer for 10 minutes. This period will make the final shaping much easier to do. Right, after that rest period, remove the cling film and form the dough into a rectangle shape. Now roll the dough towards you a little at a time as shown. Once you have your sausage shape, nip the ends together. Now place the dough into the greased tin, seam side down. And gently press around the edges, just to make sure it's seated well. Sprinkle a little flour on the dough. Now cover it with a dry, lightweight cloth. And so it doesn't pull on the cloth as it rises, give a little pleat in the top. Once that's done, get it into a warm spot, in my case back in the oven with just a light bulb on. And to start with, set your timer for 30 minutes. After the 30 minutes, we'll see what it looks like. It may need a little longer, depending on the temperature of where you're proofing yours. Looking at mine, it hasn't quite fully risen yet, so I'm going to give mine an extra 15 minutes. Okay, time's up and it's looking much better. So mine took approximately 45 minutes in total. Right, I let that sit on the bench for a further 5 to 10 minutes until the oven gets up to temperature. So it's time to set your oven to 170 degrees Celsius, that's 340 Fahrenheit, or gas mark 3. Right, oven's up to temperature, time to bake this beautiful milk loaf. Before it goes into the oven, give it a light dusting of flour. This gives the finished loaf a bit of a professional look. You can score the bread with your lamé straight down the middle, but I prefer to leave this milk loaf nice and plain. Now I'm sitting my loaf tin on this pizza tray simply so I can manoeuvre around the cameras with one hand, but obviously you can place your tin directly on the oven shelf. Okay, I'll set the timer for 30 minutes. And while that milk loaf's baking, I hope you don't mind if I give my 3 recipe books a bit of a plug. The books have lots of our favourite recipes from our work kitchens in them. All 3 books are available in the website shop along with lots of other equipment I use in the videos. And by popular demand, the skeleton style oven gloves are now available too. Just click on the eye icon top right of your screen and that'll take you to the website shop where all of these items are available now. Time's up and it's looking and smelling amazing. Carefully get it straight out of the tin and onto a wire rack to cool. Handle it with care because these loaves are really soft and delicate. And it's looking wonderful. And when I come back I'll show you what it's like on the inside and of course have a little taste. As you can see, it's very soft and light. And with the correct knife it cuts beautifully. It has a very light texture and close crumb with a wonderful cream colour. Now this bread is absolutely ideal for sandwiches and it makes the most amazing French toast you've ever tasted. Like I said earlier, kids adore this bread and it's so easy to make. It's a bread you'll probably make over and over again. It also freezes very well too. Okay, I'll try a piece with some of my homemade butter. And this is a good old-fashioned recipe. It used to be called a milk roll, but I don't have a round tin. And it's absolutely delicious. Definitely a winner and a keeper. So simple to make. And absolutely a big thumbs up for this one, guys. And as promised at the beginning of the video, here is the latest list of my Patreon, PayPal and Super Thank You button supporters. And they are Georgina McDowell, Kenneth Hunter, Thothep, Stephen MCFC Welsh, Carenza Judith Whitcomb, Emma Eyre, Andrew, John McLean, Jessica Black, Amy Salter, David Wilson, Michelle Teresa, Roy Kirkland, Alan Hansen, BNT Edwards. And finally, Sevim Osman. And I'd like to give Sevim a special shout out as he's the very first supporter to make a donation via the Super Thanks button. And if you're looking for it, that Super Thanks button is located in the tabs just under any of my videos. Thanks very much guys, I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.